From 2 days, it's like that ever since Shoaib is not coming. He also was doing the same. So erase it. Huh? Undo. Where is undo? Okay. Undo. No, nothing happened. Yeah. Erase. Here, pen. You said undo? Okay. Start with good afternoon. Good afternoon, students. We are back again to take the English class for the junior inter. Yesterday, we had been doing the comprehension, and we shall be continuing with that same subject today also, the same topic. So, like I told you earlier, comprehension is very easy for you to get full marks. But then you have to understand how to go about skimming and scanning the passage. You have to read the passage very quickly. This passage is not an annotation or a question and answer that you need to by heart. All you have to do is skim through it and scan for the important points so that you would be able to understand and attempt all the answers. In comprehension, here there are 8 questions asked, but usually in an IP exam, it is only 6 questions are given, out of which you have to write 4 questions. Answer any 4 questions. In IP board, we do not penalize any student. If they write all the 6 answers, we still mark all the 6 question and answers, but the marks accorded will be only 4. You may think, why should we write 6? There are times when many children have attempted only 4 questions, and suppose, unfortunately, one answer is wrong, you stand to lose a mark. This is for the betterment students that I'm saying, how you can score more marks. Please, children, like I said, in IP board, we do not penalize a child. There are some boards like CBSE, ICSE, when extra questions are written, they just strike it off even without marking. But in IP board, we mark all the 6 questions, but the marks will be just the same. If 4 marks are asked, you'll get only 4 marks. You won't get extra marks. But since it is objective, 60% of your paper is objective. You can finish it on time. So why not write extra questions? Hardly takes you 2 minutes. So now coming back to the comprehension, this is the 5th one that we are going to do. Swachh Buddy, Clean Telangana, second only to 1. The second Swachh Buddy, the first one in India being in Bangalore, was recently inaugurated by the Finance Minister T. Harish Rao in Siddipeta. Here, the faculty will teach how to collect garbage, segregate dry, wet, and harmful garbage, take care of public health, avoid plastic, and produce compost from garbage at homes. Sorry, children, a spelling error. It is not from, but from. Dr. Prashanti from Bangalore will take care, supervise the activities at this learning center. Children or elders, anyone can enroll here for the course, focusing on educating school children, Dwarka, development of women and children in rural areas, women and leaders. Teaching here is carried on in digital form, actual demos, and PowerPoint presentations. Compost generated thus can be used as manure. Spreading the concept all around is the need of the art. So if you see, it hardly takes you 5 minutes to skim through the passage. Now, how do you go about answering? Where does the first Swachh Buddy in India function? It is in Bangalore. One word. You don't have to write the full sentence. The first Swachh Buddy in India is functions in Bangalore. You just write the word, that's enough. Swachh Buddy in Siddipet is the first of that kind in Telangana. Say true or false? First of that kind in Telangana. Bangalore is not in Telangana. So here the answer is true. Please do not write false, because though it is second, it in Telangana, this is the first Swachh Buddy. Now name the 3 types of garbage mentioned in the passage. There are 3: dry, wet, and harmful. Just write the 3. You don't have to write complete sentence. Who looks after the functioning of this school? It is Dr. Prashanti. If you have read the passage quickly, you'll get the answers quickly. Who can join this school? It can be anyone, children or elders. Anyone can enroll themselves here in the course. Mention the 3 teaching methods used here. Digital form, actual demos, and PowerPoint presentations. How can the compost produced here be used? It can be used as manure. And the last question, is it enough for Telangana to have this one school? Support your answer with, when they say support your answer, you have to find the answer in the passage. Telangana is a big state. Do you think one school is sufficient? It isn't. Spreading the concept all around is the need of the hour. We really need to spread the concept of such things, and that's why spreading the concept of is the need of the hour supports the answer about is it enough if Telangana has one such school. So I hope you have understood, children. Let's go on to the next. Here, initiative and inch, inspiration in tons, lots. If you take an initiative, sometimes you must have noticed children are filled with curiosity. They take the initiative to find out. But elders, thinking that they may fail, they don't take the initiative. But always remember, if you want to be successful, you have to go forward, take risks. The initiative should be taken in order to be successful. An author of initiative can ignite inspiration in tons, capable of moving mountains at a rapid pace. Sounds incredible, isn't it? See it happen in our golden Telangana right now. Miracles became common when the initiative comes from a man of integrity, good intentions, and unconditional love for others. Other worth emulating traits of his stirring personality, simple living, high thinking, love for truth, discipline, practicing before preaching, democratic to the core, and working for common cause. His quest for truth is visible in his 40-year-old Tatavaneshwana Man. How to close this? So, words are not seen. Thank you. No, this. Mandali, his belief that individual progress and social progress are inseparable has prompted him to work for the development of a model town involving hundreds of committed persons from all walks of life, including spiritual areas. He is Surender Babu Putta, 71 years, and the fortunate town witnessing his impact is Kodada, the gateway of Telangana. His very lifestyle offers innumerable lessons on integrated personality development to the interested. Think, think, think. This is his mantra. So if you think and come up with any initiative, you can make a lot of progress. So how is the value of initiative highlighted in the passage? It can ignite tons capable of moving mountains at a rapid pace. Okay? How can it be highlighted? It can ignite inspiration in tons capable of moving mountains at a rapid pace. Does the initiative from any kind of person have the same impact? You can't say the same. Just like all the fingers are not same, no two persons can be same. The initiative from what kind of persons can make miracles the order of the day? A man having integrity, good intentions, and unconditional love for others. Integrity, where you are very honest, where you believe in the good of other people with good intention, and when you have love for your other mankind, only then you can have this kind of initiative. Name 3 traits of the lead character's personality. They are 6: simple living and high thinking, love for truth, discipline, practicing before preaching. Many people preach, do this, do that, be good, be honest and everything, but they don't practice. Just preaching is not enough. What you preach, you have to practice. Democratic to the core, working for common cause. There are 6, and here they have asked only for 3 traits. So you can write any 3 which you feel is more important. Is it usual to have all such positive traits in persons around us? Like I said earlier, it is difficult. You may have some traits, but you may not have all the 6 kind of traits. What is the objective of the 40-year-old organization mentioned in the quest for truth? Basically, finding truth, being honest. Name the person impacting and the place being impacted. The person is Surender Babu Putta, who is 71 years. You needn't mention that. And the place is Kodada, the gateway of Telangana. You can write it in your own words. He is Surender Babu Putta, and the impact is found in Kodada, the gateway of Telangana. Okay, we finished that. What kind of lessons can we learn from his way of living? Integrated personality development. What kind of lessons? Innumerable lessons on integrated personality development. You can also mention this, innumerable lessons. So children, I hope you have understood this passage. It is very easy. It's there in your textbook. Like I said, there are innumerable unseen passages in your book. Though we say unseen, it is all there in the textbook. If you learn from first page to the last page, everything, it should be very, very easy for you to answer the questions. Okay. After this, there's nothing. Note. No, only 7 pages. She said she put something else, but it's not there. So board. Board. But actually, she had put it in the morning, the correction of errors. It was there on the blackboard. But in this, it doesn't show. So where the background? So with this, we have completed 6 comprehension passages, children. I just took up 6 in order for you to understand how to go about answering the comprehension passages, because this is the easiest way where you can score all 8 marks without any problem. Because many children complain when they write annotations and question and answers, they are not given full marks. all your questions carry 4 marks. But like I already told you, in descriptive answers or descriptive questions, you can say, you are not accorded full marks. For the best work as per the IPE board, we are not supposed to give you full marks. IPE board, we are supposed to reduce half mark from all descriptive questions. If it's objective, you can get full marks. That is 4 out of 4. So many children ask how to go about writing annotations and question and answer. Like I told you, there are many ways in which you make a good impression. First thing you should remember, the handwriting should be beautiful. You put your place, think yourself to be an examiner. Place yourself in their shoes. Every day they get 30 papers of 100 marks. 100 marks. You may think 30 papers are very easy to mark. It isn't, children, because remember your grammar, some questions carry half marks, some carry 1 mark. It is very tedious, and many children write they start with section A, then they find it tedious, jump to section B, then jump to section C, come back to section A. This can be very, very irritating for the examiner. So remember, if you start with section A, keep to section A, then go to B, then C. If you find the descriptive you want to write and the end, no problem. Write section B first, section C, then write section A. But whatever it is, each section should be in one place. So remember this, because section B and C are objective, you can start with it, but time your paper. You should have enough time to write this descriptive, which consists of 10 questions. At least the question and answers and annotations. There are 10 of them. 5 subheadings, annotations from prose poetry, and question and answers from prose poetry, non-detailed. So it takes quite some time. So time your paper so that you can attempt all the paper. Now coming to how you get good marks. This is the question that preys on every child's mind. Like I said, first thing is your handwriting. Check your handwriting. Not only it should be, many children write minutely in this way, and because it looks neat, they think it is neat. No, it is illegible. Whatever you write should be legible, neat, and presented well. Remember, we are human beings. Take, for example, if I ask you, where would you go to find the information? Immediately you would say the Google. Okay, you go to the Google and type out what answer you want. And what do you get? The Google sends lots and lots of information. But do you read everything? You don't. You just skim through, picking out the important points. That's what you should keep in mind. even the examiners are not going to read line by line, word by word. So the best thing that you can do is write the important facts and underline it or highlight it. Like take, for example, let's begin with an annotation from the woman. Okay, yours is playing the game. Okay, not detail. Or take, for example, happiness. A annotation comes from this lesson. Now, happiness is written by Carl Sandburg. When you learn the lessons, you are supposed to learn the name of the author, lesson, and if it is a poem, the name of the poem and the poet. This is very, very important, children. So when you go about writing this reference, give the side headings for annotation. Reference. These lines are now a common mistake by students. This is in plural, or you can write this line is. But there are times when children combine the singular with plural. You say, this lines are. In English, all this is taken into consideration. The first line itself, when you make a mistake, the impression of the examiner goes. He knows that you don't know proper English. You cannot write each sentence without making grammatical errors. And that's when immediately the marks that he is going to give goes down. So either you write these lines are, or you write this line is. Remember this, children? These lines are taken from the poem Happiness, capital letter. This place, again, punctuation is very, very important in English. Happiness, name of the poem, capital letter. Underline the word happiness, written by Carl, capital letter, Sandburg. Again, capital letter. Now, if you are writing supplementary, this is sufficient for you. Just mention the name of the poem and the name of the poet. But if you are writing betterment, this is not sufficient, children. Write a little bit more about the poet. A little more, just 2 lines about the poet. Write it. If you can remember the dates, it's better if you can write the dates. If you don't remember, don't write the dates. You know this is taken from his poem, Chicago Poems and all that. Mention 2 lines about it, and that's enough, only for the betterment. If you are a supplementary student, don't even bother to learn all that. Just write the name of the poem and the name of the poet. Then you come to the context. Context is nothing but the explanation of the two lines. Like I told you, happiness revolves around two things. What are they? The poet is anxious to know the meaning of happiness. So he goes to the professors who have taught him the life's lessons, and he also goes to the executives, the busy executives who have many thousands of people working for them. He thought they, being famous and successful, would know the meaning of happiness. Because they are successful, they must be happy, so they know the meaning of happiness. But what happened? He was disappointed. He did not get any answer from them. So disappointed, depressed, he was walking along the river Des Plaines. Again, when you write the word Des Plaines, please write it in capital letter. Along the river Des Plaines, and highlight these words, children. Executives, professors, the river, one Sunday afternoon, then river Des Plaines. All this, if you highlight them, the examiner, when he looks through your book, seeing the highlighted words, immediately understood. I mean, you get an idea, the child knows all the facts. Because it's highlighted, he understands you have written properly, and that's where you can score an extra mark. Like I said, as per the IP board, no answer can be given full marks. Each answer annotation carries 4 marks. For a good presentation of an answer, we are supposed to minus half mark. So actually, you are supposed to get 3.5 marks for any answer or annotation, any descriptive work. Yet there are many students who have got 98 marks. 98%. Because section A carries 40 marks, 10 questions. If you minus 5, you get 35. That means automatically you cannot get beyond 95 marks. That is as per the exact marking scheme of IP board. Yet children who have written very, very well have got 98 marks. And how you go about getting that 98 marks, those who are writing betterment, this is for you. Please try and make a good impression in the mind of the examiner. The moment he sees your work, like I said, underline the words, the key words in your annotation and question, and I can promise you, instead of giving you 3.5 marks, he will give you 4 marks. And please, when you write this, keep in mind the punctuation, capital letters. This is where most of the children lose marks. Names of persons, places, all the name of the book, poem should be in capital letters. And when there is a full stop, begin with a capital letter. Many children write I like that in a stylish way. It may be a good style for you, but in English, It is a spelling error. If I is not in a capital letter, it is treated as a spelling error. And this is how you lose. You small things, mistakes that you make you lose marks. So make a good impression. Like I told you, underline that. And we were talking about the context, and I went aside. So one fine Sunday afternoon, when he is going along the river Des Plaines, he comes across a group of Hungarians. Why does the poet use the word Hungarians? He is not a Hungarian. Why does he? See, children, when you read the poem, you should understand the background. They are foreign poets, so their tradition, culture is different from us. They will not talk about India or anything. They will talk about their country. But why does the word Hungarian come? He doesn't belong to Hungary. They are immigrants. Immigrants. So now understand why he talks about them. Immigrants lead a very miserable life because they left their country and settled elsewhere. Why do you leave a country and settle elsewhere? Because there is trouble there and you are asked to leave the place. You were compelled to leave the place. It was not your intention to leave the place, but being compelled to leave, you go elsewhere and settle. So your past was troublesome. It was troublesome. And naturally, present, you are in a different country who have a different culture, tradition, language. Language is the main problem. If you cannot communicate with others properly, and naturally, those who have been compelled to live are mostly the poor and the illiterate, who are the main sufferers of being an immigrant. So, present also to adjust yourself to the new environment is troublesome. It's troublesome. And then coming to the last, future. What does future hold for you? What does it hold for you? You don't know. It can be good, but it can equally be good. But what were these group of Hungarians doing? They were enjoying themselves. They never thought about their troublesome past or what the future is going to hold. What they were doing was they had a keg of beer, an accordion, a shady tree, they were with their wife and children, that is family members. And that was enough for them. They were living in the present, enjoying themselves, living in the present. Enjoying. So this is what all this you don't have to tell children. This I'm telling you for your understanding. Please do not write it in the book. It is only that when you come across, when the narrator, the poet was walking along the banks of Des Plaines River on one Sunday afternoon, he came across a group of Hungarians who had a keg of beer and accordion and were enjoying themselves with their near and dear ones, with their family members. That's when the poet understood happiness is not fame or success. It is living in the present with your members, family members or friends, enjoying yourself. So this is how you go about writing, children. Like I said, everything should be clear, and more than anything, underline, highlight the words. This is how you go about writing an annotation. First is the reference, next is the context, and last is you can write conclusion, context, you can write explanation. But another thing I have noticed, many children, when you write explain, there is an I. But when you write explanation, there is no I. Spelling error is frequently made, children. So whichever you find easy, write that. Likewise, you can write conclusion, you can write critical comment, or general relevance. All are same thing. So when you write an annotation, just see that you have 3 subheadings: reference, context, conclusion, or general relevance. Now, suppose the same thing comes as a question, just write it in one paragraph. What you have written in annotation, the same thing can be reproduced in one paragraph with lot of punctuation. Like I said, concentrate on your punctuation and spelling. See that there is no grammatical error. I can promise you it is very easy for you to get 98 in English. Once upon a time, languages were not given complete marks. They were always, for descriptive, marks were reduced. But nowadays, children are writing so beautifully that examiners are forced to give them good marks. So how you go about presenting the paper is what you have to decide, children. The decision is in your hand. There are many times when we ask children why you have written in this way. They said, we have written very fast, and that's the reason why we have written untidily. That's not an excuse. Like I said, 60% of your paper is objective. Very easy for you to complete within 1.5 hours. And for annotations, 10 question and answers, which is descriptive, you still have over 1.5 hours. Easily you can complete. So start your paper very, very neat and clear work, and make a good impression on the examiner. Because this is where most of the children who are good in grammar are losing marks. Grammar is all what you have done in school, whether it's parts of speech, articles, preposition, active, passive, all this you have already studied in school. There are very few things that are not included, which are included in junior, which were not taught to you in. One is phonetics and transferring information. Transferring information also in, not in English, but you have come across it in your other subjects, whether it is a table, bar graph, all this you have come across. Pie chart, tree diagram, and flow chart. You have and flow chart. All this you have done in school, but not as a text to diagram or diagram to text. You have a choice in this. We shall discuss this later. But like I said, phonetics, transferring, and some people have said that they haven't come across syllables and odd sounds. Again, in syllables and odd sounds, your pronunciation in English should be very, very good. Like there are many children, for kangaroo, they pronounce it as kangaroo. For cucumber, they pronounce it as cucumber. And this word, they say it as chaos when it is chaos. So for syllables, odd sounds, pronunciation is very, very important. So keep all this in mind, children. We'll discuss this in our further classes. But first thing you should remember is keep it to section wise. Whichever section you start, complete that section before moving on to the other section. Second thing, it should be clear and neat presentation. So with this, I shall end my lesson. Thank you. Have a good day.